Hello, welcome back to Not the Old Firm YouTube channel. My name's James Black and I'm your host as we're going to have a little look back at this week's international games as Scotland picked up 2 wins from 2 against Israel and the Faroe Islands to keep their World Cup 2022 dreams alive. Steve Clarke's side welcomed Israel to Hampden on Saturday night and it took a late goal from Scott McTominay to pick up the 3 points before travelling to the Faroe Islands on Tuesday night where again a late goal, this time from London Dykes, was the difference. And Scotland sit 4 points ahead of Israel in second place with 2 games to go, and 1 win against either Moldova or Denmark will see Scotland secure second place and a place in the playoffs for the World Cup 2022. I was joined a little bit earlier on by David Reid and Robbie Henry as we had a little chat about the international games and just kind of how Scotland performed, high points, some low points, and where we go from here. So I'm joined by Robbie and David. They have been doing a lot of match coverage on Not the Old Firm over the last year or so. We're just going to kind of look in a wee bit more depth at last night's game, the game against Israel at the weekend, and then the upcoming qualifiers. So David, we'll start with you, just kind of looking at the 2 games in general. You must be happy with all the kind of 6 points for 2 games and World Cup dream very much still being alive.
Yeah, absolutely, James. I mean, football's about fine margins. It's good to get the 6 points. I mean, it's not been exactly great from a Scotland point of view. I mean, the performances have been left the hope to be desired, if I'm being honest with you. But the 6 points out of 6, and that's the positive thing here. I mean, against Israel, there was a couple of setbacks in terms of Sahavi hit that free kick to make it 1-0 Israel, and Israel go in front again. The character and the fight back from Scotland was very much there. That was a pleasing thing and a positive thing. And that's where I feel Scotland have progressed in a way, because Scotland, probably a year or 2 ago, would have looked at that predicament and wouldn't say we won't win that game. We'll probably go and drop points here. Yet there's a mentality that Scotland can't go and win this game, and that proved to be the case Saturday. It was the same again last night as I recorded on Tuesday night. Also, it wasn't exactly a great show from Scotland, but it was 3 points, and that's the most important thing. I think it's the Faroe Islands side that weren't to be underestimated, and certainly weren't underestimated, but the system could have been better. In terms of Carl McGregor, he proved to be the difference, not in terms of goal scorer, but his contribution in terms of springing the ball to Gilmore and Gilmore getting the ball away to Patterson, and Patterson does the rest with that cross to Dykes to tuck the ball away.
And Robbie, for yourself, kind of just as expected over the 2 games, maybe a bit tougher last night, but a win's a win.
Yeah, I'd say that. It was an important 3 points, no matter how you do it. A lot of people were saying, we might win 4 or 5-0, but as people have pointed out, Denmark took the 85th minute to get a winner against the Faroes. I think a lot of the games recently have been 0-0 at half time, so they're very compact and well organised sides. So honestly, I was just ecstatic to get that 3 points, and even with a lengthy VAR check afterwards, like 4 goals in a row, you can't complain. When was the last time Scotland had a striker that was so clinical? He might have his flaws, which we all know, but just putting the ball in the net, then happy days as a Scot.
Robbie, just to clarify what you said there, I think the last time was the 1960s with Jock Stein. I think that was the last time a striker scored 4 games in a row.
Collinstein got 5 in 1969. So yeah, so Dykes is the first since then. So Israel game. Start off with the selection for it. Now Scott McTominay came into centre back with Grant Hanley suspended. Nathan Patterson playing in the right wing back role. And then the rest of it kind of much as expected, I think. You had the midfield again, McGregor, Billy Gibbon, Lyndon Dykes and Shane Adams. I'm happy with that lineup going into the Israel game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, with regards to the right wing back role, I mean, there was a lot of debate with regards to either Stephen O'Donnell or Nathan Patterson. And upon reflection, I'd have liked to have seen O'Donnell in there. Upon the pre-match type of vibe, I'd have looked at it and says Patterson. Patterson, in all fairness, didn't have exactly the best of first halves, and in the second half it was much better. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, I know I'm stepping off the bridge a little bit here, but I'd have liked to have seen Patterson play last night, if I'm being brutally honest. I mean, I looked at partnership and went, he'd have been that creative spark that we required, and we just didn't get that. But back on the Saturday, it was a decent enough lineup, and we did manage to get all the creative sparks that we have in the park. But I think Saturday was a sign of character, but also a sign that I don't think Steve Clark's got the perfect jigsaw yet. When I say the perfect jigsaw, I mean the perfect philosophy. Because, I mean, every game calls for a different assignment, and understandably so. But you look at Saturday and Tuesday, there's a lot of moving about, there's a lot of adjustments within the team, and it's not a settled lineup just yet. And that must be the frustrating thing from a Scotland point of view. We've not got a settled starting 11. For Scotland to remain consistent moving forward, we need settled starting 11, and that's obviously going to be a frustrating problem now with Dykes and Christie suspended for the Moldova game in November.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there, David. I feel with Steve Clark, I would not want to criticise him because we've been a really good run of form. It could be the first time in 18 years we've got finished second in a group, but it always seems to be slow starters with Scotland. Conceded so early on against Israel, against Denmark, the same. It was 2-0 down before we played well. It is a bit of a concern, but if we're getting the results in the end, it'll take time to maybe find that right mix. As Carter's saying, 19 years old, he's the future, so I bet him in. I agree. I would have played him last night as well from the start instead of Ryan Fraser, because Ryan Fraser has not played any games since August for Newcastle, so he did look rusty in my opinion.
So Israel took an early lead through a free kick, and it was great finish, but very, very silly defensive errors from Scotland early on in that game kind of set the scene for a lot of what was to come. Is that, on kind of with hindsight, has that been something through the group stage itself? Has it been a problem for Scotland, do you think, Robbie? Or do you think it's just been this kind of group of games where it's kind of a bit of bad luck and some poor performances in there that have cost us?
I think it's a mixed bag, but I think there has been some poor defending. I did laugh in the Israel game that Jack Henry was the only recognised centre back in that back three. He probably made the most mistakes out of the back three. But I don't know. It's still a newish side. Like since the Euros, no one expected Hanley and Hendry to be our main defenders. So they're still bedding in. I feel because we got the victories in the end, it's hard to criticise. But I must say that Craig Gordon, he's going to be 39 in December, but he's still pulling off some magnificent saves to keep us in games as well. So sometimes that defensive unit can be helped by having a competent goalkeeper as well, which I think Scotland do have. And you have to look at who's going to play in the next campaign with Gordon probably needing retirement.
I mean, there was some massive saves from Gordon in both games against the So there was plenty for us to pick through there. Don't know whether he's agreed with everything that was said or not, but we hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Now remember to please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.